Hello, my name is Chris and I will look at the 2022 Mazda CX-5, more specifically the Sport Design model. Recall, CX-5 is a compact crossover whose exterior is timeless. Mazda incrementally improves its exterior. It's only when you look at a much older CX-5 that you realize how much has changed. This Sport Design is a new offering which is just below the all-equipped Signature. You get 19-inch wheels. There's no more choices in 2022. You gotta get those 19-inch wheels, but there is a thick sidewall. You get exterior tweaks, Signature grille, LEDs everywhere, and inside you get the Bose 10-speaker sound system with Centerpoint for your favorite podcasts. CX-5 comes with a 4-cylinder engine. We get the optional 4-cylinder turbo engine that makes 227 horsepower and 310 pounds of torque and does 10.8 liters in the city and 8.7 liters on the highway with a 6-speed automatic. Of note, Mazda offers a 3 and 5 year warranty, but with unlimited mileage, which is interesting for those of you with a long commute. I review this crossover every year. This CX-5 is so desirable. Highlights include new and improved seat comfort, looks, interior refinement, quiet ride, wonderful steering and suspension combination. Objectively, it's a top 3. Personally, it's my new number 1. Here it is on the road. Hello car lovers driving the 2022 Mazda CX-5. This is the Sport Design. It's called Sport Design. And what to say about this vehicle? Well, I've tried a lot of Mazda CX-5s on this channel. However, this is such a competitive segment and there's new entries all the time and they're always getting improved. And there's little improvements here. Mazda doesn't really improve its models. What it does is it comes out with other versions like the Sport Design, and there are differences from, let's say, the Kuru, from the GT, from all those other things. So let's run through that a little bit. I'm going to start with the exterior design, which I find is really holding up. It's got perhaps a feminine touch, but not unmasculine, if that makes sense. I love it. I think it's the best looking in the class, and that's all I have to say about this exterior. You have to get those 19-inch wheels. 19-inch wheels we're going to have to live with them. But you do get the thick sidewalls to absorb the bumps. On the inside now, well, it's beautiful design, and it's perhaps on the smaller side of the compact crossover spectrum. In the front, it feels very personal without feeling cramped. So what I mean by this? Well, I'm sitting up high. I have good visibility, at least 270, and you feel up high. You feel that you're secure. You have a commanding view of the road. I'm not rubbing elbows with Ross. We have plenty of room here, yet it doesn't feel like super spacious. It's not like a Rogue, let's say. However, it feels personal. It feels very like tailor-made for me. However, sitting behind myself, I have no problem. I think if you're over 6 feet, your knees are going to rub into the seat. Probably the only real weakness in terms of class-specific problems that this vehicle has needs just a bit more legroom in the back. You can get the CX-50 for that. The rear trunk room is appropriate. When you lower the seats, you can carry almost anything any of its competitors can. TV, barbecue, those types of things, no problem. Here, well, it's beautiful. The materials quality, top notch. There's not a lot of breakup of color, however, I must say. Having that said, there's been little improvements. What are the improvements? Well, these are the most comfortable Mazda seats I have ever sat in. So the leather quality is not quite what it was, but this is the most comfortable Mazda seat I've ever sat in. The Bose sound system plays very well. There's good sound insulation here for the highway drive, very refined. No squeaks, no rattles anywhere. I would say that the climate control, although this is very aesthetic by keeping the climate control as low as possible, especially when you're in park, it's hard to adjust your settings. The transmission lever is often getting into the way. I would raise these climate controls a little bit to make it more easy to use. I still don't like the Mazda interface for the infotainment. They're getting better at it. It is snappier. However, the screen here, although it looks the same as before, like it was just stuck on here, it's much wider, fuller screen. It seems nicer colors. It just seems a more premium experience. It seems like the same quality as the Kia 10.25 inch in terms of just the aesthetic appearance, and that's good. It's very widescreen, so it doesn't take up any view. However, it is high up, very easy to look at in a glance, and if that's not easy enough, there's heads-up display. The dash remains the same. It's semi-digital, meaning the center part is digital, but it's in dials, which is kind of interesting. It still doesn't look old or worn out. I think this is going to age very well. I said this many years ago, and I'm turning out to be very right. Engine transmission, well, of course, the turbo engine is plenty of power. It doesn't feel super refined when you're pressing on the gas. Automatic transmission might be just a 6-speed, but it's very reliable. In fact, this whole setup is very reliable, even more so with the non-turbo, Ross makes the remark. Good point there. And how often will you use the turbo? I don't think you'll use it that often, especially now with the price of gas. Speaking of the price of gas, well, for those of you who come from Quebec, we know where we live. We know the people we live with. I don't think the price of gas is going to go down, even though the price of oil may go down. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. So I certainly would go for the non-turbo option, just to save that little bit on gas. This vehicle is so good on a personal level. I mean, I'm trying not to be biased here, but I can't help it. It's just, it meets all my criteria, it seems. Even with its little quirks and features, I feel I'm drawn to it. It's very good. The reliability of Mazda is on the rise. I'm still not ready to say it's the best in category because they are so good, the competitors. You can make arguments either way, but it's definitely a top 3. I mean, boy, Mazda's really got their SHIT together. Really, they do. It's nice to see on the sport model, on the front grille, the Predator. I thought the Predator was going to kill this vehicle. However, no, it just seems to be these 4 red dots that they put there. I guess to indicate sport, I'm not sure. And that is the review. By the way, if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. And if you really like it, well then, of course, you should subscribe, and that is it.